Hello everyone, Phelandea here with another modding tutorial. Now a lot of you are using precision farming, but hey, you have that favorite sprayer, right? That does not have the spot spray functionality and you would really want to use it with your precision farming, right? You want to learn how to easily add it? Stay tuned and I'll show you how. It's simple, it's easy, and it's fun. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we need to bring our mod. I'm going to go ahead and open my mods folder, documents, my games farming simulator 22 mods. And you could do this, follow this tutorial with your favorite sprayer. Do not try and follow along with the sprayer that I'm using unless you're wanting to use this particular sprayer. I want you to follow this tutorial with your favorite sprayer. So right here I have the 4940 from Custom Modding. It's a John Deere sprayer and it does not have spot spraying capability. So I'm going to go ahead and extract it to FS22 4940. That puts it in its own folder. Do that with whatever mod you're using for this today. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to call this tutorial 4940. You can change the folder name to whatever you want, but you should change the folder name in order to make this mod unique and separate from the original. Keep the original, keep it as a backup, because if you mess up, you want to always have the original to fall back on. Okay, so now we prepared our mod for the initial bits to just set it aside from the menu in the game. And now I'm going to go into a folder where I have stored a mod that has the sensors installed. In this case, I'm going to use the FS22 Precision Sprayer Pack, which is available on the Mod Hub. And I'm going to open up the folder for the Rubicon 9000. I highly suggest using this one to pull the data that you need because it's there, it's ready, it's not encrypted, it's not write protected, so we can work with this. All right, the first thing I want to do is I'm going to open up the Rubicon 9000 i3D, and it's going to take a moment to load here. And here it is. I am not really worried about messing around with the camera. Usually when we go to mess about with a vehicle, we're going to create a camera for it. But in this case, we're just exporting. We're not going to be saving this, so I'm not too worried about it. Okay, so what I need to do is I need to expand the tree until I find a couple of things. Now, first off, I'm looking for nodes for the sprayer. It'll probably be under moving parts. So let's try sprayer top arm. I don't know if it'll be under that or not. Front part. Here we go. Nozzle node 48. Here it is. So under this nozzle node, we have a bunch of nozzles. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to file and I'm going to export selection with files. I'm going to create a new folder in my work folder here. I'll just call it tutorial and I'm going to call this nozzle node 48. I'm calling it exactly what we're exporting it as to keep the name consistent. Save. Do you want to keep the directory structure? Yes. Do you want to keep the game relative paths? Yes. All right, the next thing I want to do, I want to find out if there's any cameras on here that we can use. Here we go. So we're looking for something like this. It says camera left. It could say, it could say anything depending on what you're looking for. But here's the part where you confirm. Now the cameras will only be a wireframe. Don't worry, they appear solid in the game. However, these are just references for placement. That's all they are. As a matter of fact, this camera's not even placed properly on here. It should be a little more flush on the beam, but I didn't do this mod, so I don't worry about it. But either way, you can see where this has precision farming cameras on the boom here. And they are facing forward, of course, because they are sensing the weeds before the nozzles spray. That's what we want. We want that. So I'm going to also file, export selection with files. And I'm just going to call it camera. I don't have to call it camera left. We're just going to call it camera. Yes and yes. And we are done with the Hardy now. So I'm going to close it. It's going to ask me if I want to save changes. Just say no. All right. Now, the next step, we're going to go into the Rubicon 9000 XML, and I'm going to create a blank note file. Then we're going to go back into the Rubicon. We're going to pull some code out of here to use with the sprayer. So we go down to the section that says sprayer. Right below it is a section that says weed spot spray. So I'm going to go ahead and pull all of this data down to the bottom of weed spot spray. When you get down to the bottom of weed spot spray, stop there and Control C to copy. Now I'm going to come over here to my new notepad file and we'll just stick this right here for right now. Then I'm going to just hit enter a few times just to give me some space. And I'm going to go back to the Rubicon 9000 XML and we're going to go down to the i3D mappings. And what I want to look for is right here where it starts camera left, camera right, whatever. We're just going to copy all of this. Now, right below it, we have our nozzle nodes. So we're going to copy those as well. So we'll copy those into the notepad file we go. There it is. All right. So we're done with the Rubicon 9000 XML. Now we've got everything we need. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and save this file. So now we have our code saved and backed up. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go into the 120-foot boom for our John Deere 4940. We're going to start editing it. This Rubicon folder, I'm going to close it. We're done with that. Whatever sprayer you're choosing for this particular tutorial, go ahead and open the i3D for it. In this case, I'm using 120-foot.i3D for this particular sprayer, and we have it right here. Now, again, it's usually good habit when you are messing about with any vehicles or anything to go create camera and make a work camera for it. Now, this is an implement, so this isn't necessary here. But just out of good habit, I'm going to go ahead and just work with that. So next, I'm going to go to View, Camera, Facecam, and here we are. Now we're in our other camera and just taking a look around the sprayer here. All right. So it looks like that's the front. This is the rear back here. Okay, we can work with this. This will be pretty good. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to go File, Import, and I'm going to bring in nozzle node 48.i3D. We're gonna not worry about camera for right now. In fact, camera is quite a ways off. We're going to get the spot spray functionality working in the game first, and then we'll worry about the camera. The camera is just eye candy. You can actually do this. You can convert any sprayer to spot spraying without the need to put the physical cameras on. But I'm going to show you in this tutorial how to add the cameras as well, just for completeness sake. All right, I'm gonna start on this whole project. I'm gonna go from left to right. So I'm gonna come all the way over here, and what I need to do is I need to find the section that folds out the most over here. So I'm gonna highlight 120-foot main component. Looks like it's under Viz. Nope, not attach or joint, not, you know what, I'm just gonna come down to Model Viz. Yep, there it is, Model Viz. See, and what I'm doing is I'm just expanding. As long as this outer part is highlighted green like this, I'm on the right path. And then I go, you know, like boom left selection, okay, boom left section. Then left middle arm, left final arm, and there we go. So rotate pieces, spray, or left final joints. Spray is what we're looking for. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to come down here to nozzle node 48. I'm going to Control X to cut it. And we're going to come back up here under spray. And I'm going to paste nozzle node 48 under spray for this. All right, looking good. All right. Now, you'll notice that these nozzle nodes, it has a bunch of nodes under it that are all numbered. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to delete all but one. We're just going to start with the one. That's just going to make things easier in the long run. Now, unfortunately, this is a sad truth about Giants Editor. There is no 2D view. You cannot do any 2D view in Giants Editor. There's no camera view. or anything to do this. So we're just gonna have to kind of, get funky with my fake cam in order to try and make this work. For right now, so what I'm going to do is I want nozzle node 48. I want to go ahead and change the translation of that to be the same as the upper node. And there's a reason for that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the nozzle node 48 parent node and I'm going to place it on the outermost nozzle here. So we're going to move this out. And this is an approximation for right now because we're in this like 3D view. So it makes it a bit hard to try and judge, but I'm just gonna look for the red nozzles here, or just just the top of the cone is fine. Now there is a bit of a trick. It's not exactly a 2D, but what I can do is I can go down to the fake cam and I can take and round to the nearest 180. So this is 166, so I'm going to change that to 180. This is -1, I'll change that to 0, and then to rotate Z is -180. So now I am facing exactly forward with this. So now I can come back up to my nozzle node 48, and I can use that to kind of place, if I can place the nozzle kind of in the center, I can use that to try and center this as much as possible. And then what I could do is I could just kind of turn the fake cam and come over here, and then I could do the same thing, come back down to fake cam. And it looks like 177, we'll round that to 180. 84 rounds to 90, and then the -180 seems to have stuck, so that's awesome. So then I'll come back up to my nozzle node, and I'll do the forward and back bit. Which, oh, I turned my camera, but that's all right. It looks like we got it spot on anyway. So this looks good. Now, remember how we moved the first nozzle to that location? That means it's right there. It's already right on. And I'm going to change this 42 to 01. This is now nozzle 01. Okay, I'm going to Control C and Control V, which makes a copy of that nozzle. And I'm going to rename that to 02. And I'm going to pull it over here. And this is going to go on the second node. So we'll get this nozzle kind of centered here and put that right on it. I'm not worried about the cone. I don't care about the cone. I want this centered on the physical nozzle. All right, make another copy. Now we're gonna name this one to 3. I'm gonna zoom out a bit. I'm gonna move this one. So we'll get that over there approximately, then zoom in. Oh, wow, we nailed that one right on. Okay, cool. Then I'll zoom out. Let's make another copy. This one's gonna be 4. Get zoomed in here. Again, our camera's facing perfectly forward still. We didn't jack that up. Okay. Make another copy. Nozzle number 5. Okay. Make another copy. Call this nozzle number 6. Make another copy. Call this nozzle number 7. And I'm gonna stop, actually. Did I jack up? Nope, I'm still on the outer boom arm. I thought maybe I went too far in. Make another copy. Nozzle number 8. All right, looks good. So we pretty much got the outer wing done, and to confirm, I've got that node right there, so I'll just highlight spray, and sure enough, we've got that done. All right, so we've gotten done with this section here, and as you can see, we have a joint here, and we want to be able to keep the nodes together with their appropriate, sections. If you have to adjust the boom or anything like that, you obviously want the spot spray to adjust with it. So we're going to come up here, and I'm going to take nozzle node 48, and I'm going to press Control C to copy it. Now what I need to do is find up right here. Here's the spray for the next section. Under this section, I'm going to go ahead and paste the nozzle node, and I'm going to change the numbers. Let's see, we left off at 8, right? So this one is going to start at 9, 10, and so on. And I'll be back in a moment after I change all these. All right, awesome. So I've got these renumbered, and I had to delete one because this one has one node less. So we've got 9, which looks like it might need to move over a little bit. All right. For some reason, the spray bits aren't really lining up, but I'm not worried about those. I'm more worried about my sprays because the game will use these nodes to create a spray effect that comes out of them. So that's what I want. So we've got these nodes, look like they're all lined up really good. And yeah, that is that. So now I'm not going to take up this whole video doing this whole boom going down, but now you've got the concept. Every section that is separate, we're going to copy and put the nodes in, and that way we, however the boom folds up or whatever, the nodes move with it. So let me go ahead and finish up the rest of this boom, and I'll be right back with you. Okay, so I got all the nodes on there using the same method that I was showing you a while ago. Here's the nodes that we already did before, and then came down. Here's nodes on the other side. We've got nodes on the middle of the arm there, and then the main arm. Down here, this was the tricky part, because spray 1 is in its like own tree. So that was a bit tricky to find there, but once we found it, we got those nodes on there as well. So we have a total on this particular sprayer of 72 nodes. All right, but that's it. The nodes are placed. The next step is to create some XML for these. When we look at the XML, we see various things here. We got weed spot spray, weed spray configurations. We leave all this alone. You're not going to edit any of this except for one thing. This object change, these lines here that say object change, we're just going to go ahead and just delete those for right now because we don't have any physical cameras yet. We will be adding those later in the video. And then for these configurations here, we have the nozzle nodes for the weed spot spray and then the i3D mapping. So now we need to make everything kind of match up. So we only have, let's see, how many did I say? Because I numbered them all. 72. So we have 72 nozzles. So I'm gonna actually, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to delete any blank lines that I have here just to make this a little bit easier, because I don't need a bunch of weird extra gaps. All right, so I've deleted all the extra spaces. There's like a couple of weird named ones here that's left and right. I'm gonna get rid of those as well. All right, so 70, see, I forgot again, 72. All right, so 72 is how many I got. So I'm going to take all the lines below 72 and get rid of those. So now we have just these. Now we're not done yet. You see over here where it says section index? These section indexes are where we separate the parts where it folds. Now it doesn't matter where these go. All that matters is that each section has its own index. So I'm going to come back over here and we're going to start on this left outer arm. So 1 through 8, all right, I'm going to come back up here and I'm going to go down. I'm going to put a space between 8 and 9. And then what do we have? 9 through 15. Okay, let's put a space after 15. Okay, here we go. 16 through 33. All right, 16 through 33. So we're going to go down to line 33. We'll put a space in there. Then we have, should be 34 through 51 right there. Okay, so 34 through 51. All right, that looks good. 52 through 58. So let's put a space after 58. And then 59 through 66 right there. And then down at the bottom here should be 67 to 72, which is already in its own section. So what I got to do is I'm going to come over here and I'm going to work from the bottom up, and I'm going to change all of this first section to 1. The next section is 2, and then the next section 3 and 4 and so on. And I'll see you in a second. I'm just going to go ahead and finish this. All right, and there we are. So we had a total of 7 sections. So starting from the bottom, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So now we pretty much got our code ready. Now we just need to copy it into our XML file. So we're going to go ahead and grab all of this and copy it. And in our XML, the 120-foot XML in my case, but whatever the XML is for your sprayer, you're going to scroll down, and it doesn't matter what mod you're using. You should have a section like this that says sprayer. And I like to put this stuff right after this section. So I'm going to create a couple of spaces. So I have basically 3 spaces here. I'm going to choose the middle space, press Ctrl V, and boom. And there's our weed spot spray that we just cut from the other file. Nice. All right, so our nozzle configuration 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 is all there. The next part we need to do, we're going to do something similar with the i3D mappings. Now, this section here is for the physical cameras, so ignore this for right now. We'll come back to that. What we're going to start with is this nozzle 48 right here, and we're going to go down accordingly. Now, just like we did before, I'm going to take all these spaces out, and then I want to delete anything below 70. See, I have to look yet again. 72. All right. I keep having a... I don't know why I got 75 stuck in my head. All right. So we have 72 nodes here for the i3D mapping. Just like before, I'm going to put the same spaces in. So it looks like 1 through 8. At least I don't have to tab into the Giants editor every time now. Then 15, 33. So right there. 51, 58, and 66. Okay, so 51, 58, 66, and then 67 through 72. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. Sweet. So we got that arranged. And there's a reason why we put this all into sections like this, is because now we're going to come over to Giants Editor, and we need to find the first node. We're going to start from number 1 up at the top. So we're going to highlight this. Now, over here at the right, we have this index path. It's a long, in the case of my sprayer, it's a bit of a long path, so it kind of goes off the window edge like that. I wish that these windows would kind of expand if, you know, if I move this in and out, I wish that those windows would expand too, but it doesn't. So I just have to copy that, and we're going to come back here, and by node 1, I'm going to highlight the old node, and we're going to paste this. And I'm going to paste it on every single line as soon as I can learn how to highlight properly. And I know this seems strange, but this is actually a shortcut. And I'll show you in a second what we're doing here. All right, so I pasted that line on all this. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to, on the second line, change a 1, 2, 3. I'm just changing the last number. That's all I'm doing. Only the last number. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. That's because as long as these are in this order, that is what the last number is. If we look over here, there's 5, 6, 7. You get the idea. So that makes this a little bit easier. So we did 1 through 8. Let's go ahead and grab the code for 9, the index path. Let's copy that. Let's come back over here, and on this next section on 9, we're going to paste this in that entire section because these nodes are all together. And then we're going to do the same thing. So now I have it pasted. I'm going to grab the second line, go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Should always start with a 0. The top one is always going to be the same as you pasted it. You won't change the line you originally copied. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. All right, let's go ahead and grab the next one. It's going to be node 16. And we'll continue from there. And I'm just going to continue doing this all the way down to shorten the video. I'm just going to go ahead and do the rest off screen. All right, so I've got those all copied over. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab all of these i3D mappings, and I'm going to copy them. Now, no, I didn't copy the camera ones, and I threw in a tab here just to kind of move them aside to remind me not to grab these yet. I'm leaving the cameras alone because we're not working with those yet. We're just grabbing the nozzle nodes. I'm going to come over here to the XML at the bottom, and I'm going to put in a couple of spaces, and I'm going to paste the i3D mappings in. So now we have all of our nozzle nodes. That's it. We should have enough now to where this should be functional in the game. So let's go ahead and pop into Farming Simulator 22 and see if it worked. Okay, so we're in the game now, and now we're looking at our 120-foot boom, and now we should see a section here called Weed Spot Spraying. If I click it to yes, note there's no physical change on the boom. no cameras appear because we haven't installed those yet. But one thing that tells you that you've done something right is this weed spot spraying has appeared. With this configuration, each nozzle sprayers, yada, yada, yada. You should get this paragraph down here. So cool. We got the weed spot spraying installed. Let's go ahead and check it. And I started to run a test already. Oh, by the way, so off screen, because I forgot to hit record during this, off screen, when I did my first test of this, the nozzles on these right booms, they were invisible. The weeds were dying, but I wasn't seeing any spray. What happened was when I placed the nozzles over here, they somehow ended up at a 180-degree angle, and so I had to rotate on the y-axis 180 degrees on those. If you have the same thing happening in your game where you have weeds dying, but you're not seeing physical spray come into your nozzles, check the rotation. Play with the rotation. You're looking right here, rotation X, Y, and Z. It should ideally be 0, 0, and 0, but if it, for some reason it ended up being anything but 0, 0, and 0, adjust that. If it is 0 and 0, 0, and it's doing this to you, you might need to actually put another rotation on there. But on every sprayer I've done this to so far, 0, 0, and 0 is the X, Y, and Z rotation you want for every nozzle. It doesn't matter what you have on the parent node, this nozzle node 48 up here, that doesn't matter. What matters is the individual nozzles have to be X, Y, and Z, 0, 0, and 0. So remember that. I fixed that though, so let's go ahead and jump in here. I'm going to turn on the sprayer, pull forward a little bit, and there it is. We now have spot spraying on the custom modding sprayer. And I've already added the Saria compact, even though I need to move that roof sensor back. But yeah, I'm barely pressing on the accelerator because I didn't want to move too fast. I'm trying to move slow on purpose so we could see the spurts come out. But yeah, check that out. Congratulations, you now have spot spraying on your sprayer. But we're not done. Nope, we got one more thing to do. Let me go ahead and fold this bad boy back up. And now we're gonna add some cameras. And by the way, before I pop out of the game to add cameras, there's something I want to take note of. Okay, yes, when the boom closes, it comes very close to the mirrors. So the cameras will be protruding a little bit from the booms. So we need to take note of that because when the cameras fold, they're all going to be on the inside. On another sprayer, I had to kind of adjust the cameras a little bit so that they wouldn't clip with the mirrors. As it is, part of the boom looks like it's kind of touching the Isaria Pro Compact sensor there, so I might have to move that as well. But yeah, for right now, let's go ahead and add the cameras, and we'll just take it a step at a time. So now we're back here at the sprayer, and I'm going to go to File, Import, and I'm going to bring in the camera i3D. Now, just like we did before, I'm just immediately going to take any extra cameras that are on here and just delete them. I just want the one camera. And then we're going to move that as we see fit. So first, let me see how this bad boy is positioned. Just like so, I see. All right, well, that's not a problem. I think what I'm going to do to make it easier for me to initially position everything is I'm going to take camera left here and I'm going to put it, I'm going to translate it to 0, 0, and 0. And then I'm going to take the camera itself and translate it to 0, 0, and 0. And that way I could just place the first camera right off the bat by the master node. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the camera left and I'm going to assign it to the same section that the nozzles are. So I'm going to highlight spray and paste. So now the camera is on the same node as the outer boom arm. All right, so now all I need to do is just place this first initial camera is all I want to do. Now this is called camera left. I'm going to call this camera left outer. And then this cameras, I'm just going to call it camera 01. We don't need to do any section naming on that. So what I'm gonna do is just take this camera. Okay, so we'll put this camera up here. It's gonna be tricky to mount this thing. No, this boom is definitely a lot more, how should I put it, flimsy as compared to the other one. Oh, and it looks like the camera is rotated a bit. Oh, well then, let's fix that. So we'll take it and pop it a little bit here, and yeah, right. I'm trying to center the screws on that bit too. And by the way, this is normal for this to be just the green, because we're just pulling in the camera as a visual reference. Hopefully that makes sense with you guys, but yeah. All right, well, oh, but this is clipping through the, let's make it a pain in the neck. Let's just take it and put it right here. There we go. That'll work. I'll put it there. It probably would have been easier to put it on the top boom, but again, with all the odd shaping there, for consistency, it'll be easier for me to do what I'm thinking of here. It'll become clear in a moment. So I'll go ahead and copy and paste this, and then I'm going to move it over to, just need a little bit of spacing here. So it looks like this one will fit nicely right here. Basically, by tabbing through these, I'm getting an idea as to if I'm getting my spacing right. But if we back off, let's, and I need to rename these last two. So make this one camera 3, make this one camera 4. All right, so camera 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 kind of goes in quite a bit though. I guess to even it out, I could take camera 3 and move it over this way a bit, and camera 2 I'll also move just a bit for a bit of compensation there. Let's take a look here. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. 3 can still stand to go over a little bit. I may actually put 3 on the other side of this bar. Let's do that right there. That's better. Yeah, I think we got him. I think I got him nice and placed there. And then we see the hinge, right? So we need to now make a new set for these cameras to go onto the next section here. So I'm gonna copy this, the parent node for the cameras. Left middle arm, I think, is where I'm trying to go. So it was the spray node here. Yeah. Yep, so I'll go ahead and place it there. All right. Now we have all 4 cameras here. They're kind of evenly spaced. I'm going to try and put them down so they're onto the bar. All right, you get the idea. So I'm going to continue with the rest of this off screen, and then I'll be back once I get all the cameras placed. Okay, so far I've got this side done, and I just remembered something. So I've got this named as camera left outer. I forgot to change this. I'm gonna go camera left center for this one. And then I'm going to name this one camera left inner. So now all I need to do is duplicate this layout onto the other side, and it'll be camera left out, or camera right outer, camera right center, and camera right inner accordingly. All right, I'll see you when I get that done. All right, so we have camera left outer, which has cameras 1 through 4. Camera left center has cameras 5 through 8. And then we have camera left inner, which has cameras 9 through 18. And we continue on with camera 19 down here for camera right inner, 19 through 28. 29 through 32 for the camera right center. And then camera right outer is 33 through 36. So we have 36 cameras total on this boom. Now what we need to do is we need to get the XML to identify these and let the game know that they are there. And we also want them to only dictate that the cameras appear when the spot spraying is active. And that's where we come back to our original code over here. We're going to grab this object change, and I'm going to copy it, and then we're going to go into our 120-foot XML. I'm going to go back up here to where we had the spot spray, and it was right after the 39,000 here. So we'll go ahead and put these in. Now I need to get the camera names exactly. So remember we had camera left outer, right? So camera left outer, and then camera left center, and then camera left inner. And I'm also going to go ahead and make a copy of this line and do that because we need 6. We got 6 sections total. All right, let's go to the next one, which is the camera right outer, the camera right center, and the camera right inner. And actually, the inner and outer. All right, so outer, center, inner, center, outer, in that order. Okay, next, let me go ahead and save this file. Next, we're gonna come down to the i3D mappings, and we're gonna add the cameras in. I'm just gonna put them right above the nozzles, right there. So we'll come over here and grab the i3D mappings for these, and then I'm gonna copy extra line here. Okay, and then what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna cheat a little bit. I'm actually going to copy my camera section from here, and then I'm gonna scroll down back to the i3D mapping to where the cameras are. I'm gonna temporarily just kind of paste that there, and then I'm going to cut the camera names into place. That just makes this a little bit quicker. Okay, now let's get rid of this bit that we just copied. All right, and now we need the nodes. So the camera left outer, and we don't need to worry about any of the actual physical cameras. We're just getting the parent nodes. So camera left outer, we'll paste that in right there. The camera left center is next, and then camera left inner. Okay, now I need the camera right inner. That's down a ways. We gotta go down here a bit. Camera right center, and then the camera right outer. There it is. Save the file. I can actually close my scratch pad now. We're done. We should have cameras mounted on our sprayer now. Now, we may not be totally done. Most likely what's going to happen is there's going to be some cameras that are probably clipping or doing something crazy. Mirrors or something like that when they're folded up. So what I need to do is look for that stuff so that we can correct it as needed. So I'll see you inside the game. All right, so looking up, I can already see, yay, we have cameras. All right, they're already mounted, obviously, because it doesn't look right. Oh yeah, because there's a section folded out there. Okay, so the thing I couldn't remember how this thing folded up. So I was actually kind of scared. I was thinking that, you know, when this thing folds in on itself, I'd have cameras on the inside, but it looks good. All right, let's take a look down here. God, it almost looks like, can I hop on this tire? It almost looks like this camera, no, it's just above it. I thought it was clipping into that beam there, so it cleared. That camera's good. All right, let's hop up here and take a look. I can not even see the cameras that are in there. I'm trying to see if there might be one clipping this exhaust. Ooh. Yeah, it looks like it might be. It's barely noticeable though. I don't know. I don't know if it's worth making an edit over or not. The rest of the cameras though are all good. This end I was kind of having a concern about. Yes, it looks like it's clipping the Isaria sensor, but I think I'm actually going to be moving the Isaria sensor, not the... I think I'm going to take this Isaria sensor and put it up here on the bar. I got to move that thing anyway, so we'll do that. So nope, I'm just not going to... I'm not going to worry about that. Okay, same thing over here. We have... Actually, these clear, because the mirror's in a different spot. So these are actually clearing perfectly. So I'll leave that sensor alone, and it looks like we're leaving these cameras alone. Now, if we get in a vehicle and we fold it out, was like, what are those sticking out? I didn't notice those before. These paddles. It must serve a purpose, so. Anyway. We get out and look really good, though. And I'm gonna cheat and use my height control here so that we can make ourselves taller and kind of really take a look in detail. But yeah, this it looks good. They look mounted properly. They're not clipping with that one actually. Is that one clipping with a that one is clipping a little bit. I might have to shift that one a bit. Other than that though, but you know, you guys can move this stuff around. You don't have to export the i3D, by the way. You just hit Control S to save and you're good, because you didn't import anything physically, you just imported a reference. Let's see how this side turned out. These are good. Yeah, these are all good over here so far. Mission accomplished in general though. We have our bar. It looks good. So we now have the physical cameras. And then just to clarify on that, if we come in here and we go to customize this, if I take the let's get the camera to get the camera to an angle where you can see the cameras, and we take weed spot spraying off. Look at that, the cameras disappear. So they are acknowledging the dependencies as well. If you have spot spraying on, you have cameras. If you take the spot spraying off, you no longer have cameras. If you do not have precision farming installed, you obviously will not see the cameras because you won't have the option for spot spray. So there you go, guys. Congratulations. You've just added spot spraying with the visuals to your favorite sprayer. Have fun. Go on. Go forth. Add spot spraying to everything. All right, guys. Just to show you a little bit of a bonus clip here, I did go ahead and move the Isaria sensors, the crop sensors around. And yeah, look, we have no more clipping. Everything clears beautifully. So she's officially done. Yep. This is now part of my regular John Deere fleet. All right, that's it, guys. Phelandea signing off. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it helped you out. I just dived into, literally the day I made this video, the day this video is getting uploaded, I just taught myself this. I dissected a mod and managed to figure it out, and I wanted to pass that knowledge on to you guys. Not everybody has the same learning curve. It took me, how long's precision farming been out? A few months now, at least, and it took me this long to kind of figure it out, but there it is. So you guys take care, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video.